Well, hello everybody, John. So today we're going to be installing the Mercury active trim. I've got a 2021 Tracker Targa combo with the Pro XS 200 on it. Have the kicker for fishing purposes, and we're going to install the active trim just to make it a little bit easier. We do plan on using this as a recreational boat as well as a fishing boat. So my wife, who doesn't have a whole lot of experience behind the wheel of a boat, will be driving it some. My brother as well. So trimming may be a little bit tricky for them, and we're going to be pulling a tube from time to time as well, possibly a skier. So I figure if they're driving it, it'd take quite a bit of the work out from doing the trim work. So we're going to install it. I do have the tournament edition, so I do have the Helix 7 on the dash. On the console, I did add another one that I had from a previous boat. So first chore is figuring out where you're going to put it. It does come with the template. The instruction booklet also has a template in it, but this one was separate. So I did cut it. It does tell you what size holes you need on the template. I cut out where the other holes are, the size of the other holes are. On the Tracker Targas, I can't speak for any of the others other than the 2021, because obviously that's what I have. There is a fiberglass board, or excuse me, a board fiberglassed inside of here for stability for graphs and such. So the mounting, it should be pretty solid. The cutting the hole in it should be fairly solid. The only issue really is you have to pull out the stereo. That being said, I will get to work on that. I'm not going to bore you with it. This my system is for the DTS, the digital throttle. I do have the 4-port hub here. You'll see another one plugged in there for the Vessel View Mobile. The other plug you see there is for the digital throttle itself. So on the back, once you get in the console, under the console, it's basically, I believe it's 2 screws and a nut, and that thing comes right out. So I'm not going to show you that part. Pretty cut and dry, and it might be a little bit different on yours. I'm not exactly sure if that's a rigger's option or not on how they mount that in there. So we'll be back with you shortly. All right, so sorry about the sun. Pretty bright day today. Have the radio out, have the template on. One thing that they do recommend is they want a clear line of sight above it. They don't want anything, any overhead obstruction. I'm really hoping that the graph that'll be mounted right here does in fact give it enough. If it doesn't, I suppose I can push this back some, move the second one here if I need to. So a little bit of a breeze today. I apologize if there's any wind. So I did drill out the pilot holes. These 4 holes are obviously to screw it down. I did, which I do recommend when doing a using a hole saw, and you don't get another chance. You cut that big hole, you don't get to uncut that big hole. So drill it with a smaller bit so you don't get any walking. This one here is a anti-rotation pin. The way I'm mounting it, I technically don't need it, but I'm putting it there anyway. And that one, the hole there, I didn't go all the way through with. So in the box, what you're going to get, you got your control module. This all right here that you see, there is a spacer. If you're doing a thin wall mount, if it's a thin piece that you're mounting it to, they do recommend putting that on the inside. There is a adhesive gasket, the faceplate, and then the control module. They will come all, for the most part, assembled. This is the locking bushing that will go in there and lock it down. This is all they use to mount it on a thin mount application. Then inside you have the processor unit. It's got a name to it, but I don't remember what it is. So they have that gets mounted under your console. They have the bracket for that, and then the wiring for it as well. Now, keep in mind this is for the digital throttle. The non-digital throttles are going to be a little bit different. There's a couple different kits, so make sure you're getting the right one. But yeah, that's where I am now. Everything seems to be pretty plug and play. There are no videos on YouTube about it, so there's even no videos on what come in the parts kit. There's one that's not in English. I believe it's in Italian, but that really was no help other than seeing what comes in the package. I don't understand a word that he's saying, but you get the general idea. So I'm just getting ready to cut this hole. I'm going to pull the template off so I don't ruin it. So if it doesn't work there and I have to move it, I still have the template available. So I will get that cut and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so there's that. One thing I do want to point out, sorry about the sun there. So you've got this, you got the fiberglass underneath it, then you've got the poly board, and then under that, or above that, you do have your actual skin for your console. So one thing you want to make sure you do when you're cutting that hole is slow. Go slow. You don't want to overheat it. You want to cut it. You don't want to melt it. Once you get into melting the plastic, you start running into some problems. So go slow. Take it easy. It's not a race. But I'm going to get this faceplate mounted, and then we'll go from there. See you in a bit. Alright, real quick. So, you'll see in the instructions that there is a gasket, A, and an adhesive gasket, C. So, this is the adhesive gasket. This is the gasket, which already comes installed. So the best I can tell, the adhesive back one goes on here, because it'd be really hard to try to line it up there. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to put it on there first, but we'll see. Just want to give you a heads up. There's not really a good explanation on that. So alright, so there we are with that part. I'm not clipping the faceplate on just yet, just in case I have to take that off for any reason. I'll see if I can, I don't know how well you'll be able to get a view up there of that with sun and how dark it is in there and whatnot. But I am going to have to move some things around on the board here to make some room for the bracket there and the control panel. So let me do some of that stuff. There's definitely not enough room for me and you back there, so, or the camera. So let me get to work on that and I'll let you know. So far we're only about 25 minutes in, if that, and I've had to take some text messages and go grab some tools. So pretty easy install so far. Alright, so here's the control hub. I think I might have a way to get you guys in there. So in each of these slots here, you got to put one of these rubber grommets. So we'll get this all set up before doesn't slide in the same as the others, but slides in well enough. Alright, now consult the instructions. Alright, so plug side goes out. There's also these little metal bushings that go from the bottom in, like so. Bottom in, bottom in. Alright, so I was able to get everything on that panel inside the console rearranged and moved. So here's your mounting bracket, which your lines will correlate there. And then we have our mounting screws here. And it actually looks like well, maybe not. So it almost looked like when all said and done, you're going to have 4 sets of screws going into the panel. So, alright, let me just take one quick last peek, make sure we're going to do this thing correctly. Yep. Comes with 2 sets of screws, some shorter ones, some longer ones. Looks like the short ones are what mounts the bracket to the board. And then the longer ones mount the computer to the mount, and they are going to be long enough that they are going to also make it into the backing board. So let me get all my stuff out of the box and all set to go. See if I can't get you guys arranged in there to see what's going on. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it with come on now. Okay, maybe. Gonna be a little sideways, I apologize. Maybe. Alright, because my wife tells me I don't ever look enough at the instructions. We're gonna look enough. We're gonna look again. Alrighty. So, I think if we go something like that, we'll have plenty of room there. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go like that. Alright, so alright, now I'll take one and run that home just to hold it into place for the others. Good enough. I would imagine these might be a little long. Yeah, we'll give them a go. Alright, they don't appear to have hit the back, hit the aluminum, so now we'll clean off the Easter grass. And then we'll give this a go. Alright. So these are going to be ridiculously long. I'm 100% sure this one will clear, but all the rest of them are going to hit the aluminum backer. Alright, so this isn't buried yet, and we're already poking through the back, so just barely though. Get your work out here. We're running very low on battery, so we're literally almost done here. So, essentially, all that's left is plugging stuff in. So, apologize if you wind up upside down onto this deal. So this is coming out of the control. Leave this wire goes to that. Nope. This wire. Nope. Wrong again. May have to consult the instructions. Alright, give me a few people. Oh, shoot dang. Huh. Alright, so that goes there. And then this goes into the vessel control module block thingy there. We feed that there. And then this goes like so, and then you push that down, clamp it down, and done. And that is that. So, yeah, vessel control module, I believe is what they call that. VCM is what they call it for short. Then there's this, which I can't remember what that's called. And then we got the block up there, the controller up there, and then everything else has to be done on the water, which isn't going to happen just yet. Maybe this afternoon. The wife has some stuff to do, so once the kids get out of school, weather permitting, maybe we can get out of the water and dink with it a little bit. So until then, there's the instructions, or the walkthrough, or whatever you want to call it. But thanks for watching.